everyone. I, MS Divishri, welcome you to the third edition of Cineast International Film Festival of India, CIFI 2021. CIFI 2021 is the world's first 7-day hybrid film festival organized by educational institutes of two countries, Media School of Delhi Metropolitan Education, Delhi NCR, India, in association with School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. The theme of CIFI 2021 is Cinematic Rejuvenation, #Cinema 2021. CIFI is being organized in a hybrid mode to serve as a beneficial platform for beholding the new methods of viewing and studying the cinema during the challenging times of the pandemic. The first edition of CIFI was held in April 2019 and the second edition was organized in December 2020. It is a privilege to be associated with Deakin University during the previous editions of our film festival as well. It is a proud moment for me to mention here that CIFI 2021 has received the submission of 3,130 films from 111 countries. CIFI 2021 brings 21 sessions with 70 experts through 11 panel discussions, 2 curated sessions, 2 master classes, 2 workshops, 2 special sessions, and 2 special segments. Mr. Tigmanshu Dhulia, National Award winner, film director from Bollywood, is the festival ambassador for CIFI 2021. We are extremely thankful for his constant support. The festival partners of CIFI 2021 are Cover Drive Productions, a Noida-based production house; Vigyan Prasar, the organizer of National Science Film Festival, International Science Film Festival of India, and India International Science Festival; CMS Vatavaran, Environment and Wildlife Film Festival and Forum; Kids Cinema 2020, an online international children's film festival; Culture Cinema, a concept-based film festival aimed at celebrating world cultures; We Care Film Festival for promoting and exhibiting films on disability; Delhi International Film Festival for screening films amidst heightened deliberations on world cinema. Our partners from Australia, Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, and Australia-India Film Practitioners and Researchers Network. Our institutional partners, Global Media Education Council, an international platform of media educators and researchers, Indian Documentary Producers Association, an association of documentary filmmakers, Indian Academy of Shorts, an institution for imparting craftsmanship of filmmaking through small capsules, New Delhi Film Foundation, and our media partners are APN News, The Policy Times, Hindi Gaurav, and Australia ka Pratham Hindi Samachar Patra. Today, we are screening 116 films. You can watch all the films being screened on our website, cifi.dme.ac.in. Today, we have gathered here for the panel discussion on the topic, Rebirth and Rejuvenation of Cinema in the Digital Era, a pandemic fallout, which is chaired by Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Festival Director and Dean DME Media School, to kindly give the opening remarks.
Thank you, Devishri. So it is indeed going to be a great panel. We have been having so many panel discussions on diverse issues, diverse topics with the different kind of people in it, the filmmakers, the film academics, the researchers, the students. And also just now we had a session from Australia, which was an interaction with the cast and crew of a film made in Australia by the Indian diaspora. So that is how we are trying to add some value to whatever sessions we are organizing as part of this film festival, CIFI 2021. And Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary has been kind enough to spare his time despite all his busy schedule to conduct one session at least for us. So last year also he obliged us, and today also he is there with all good people around in this panel. And particularly, I must make a mention of Aftab Asgar. Last year also, he was there in one of the panels, which was moderated by Professor Chaudhary. And despite all this time difference and but then he agreed to be here, so we are obliged to him and all the other panelists who have joined in this session. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Devashri. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. SIFI is powered by Spark, the Student Council of DME Media School. Journalism at DME is the official newsletter of DME Media School. This fortnightly publication covers all the major activities happening in and out the campus. It is a student-centric newsletter carried out entirely by them under the supervision of faculty members. DME TV is the official YouTube channel of DME, where you can find the playlist related to all the sessions, lecture series, film festival, and conference. Now I request Mr. Pramod Kumar Pandey, Assistant Professor, DME Media School, to introduce our panelists.
Thank you very much, Devashri. I would like to introduce our moderator for the session first, Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary. Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary is a former Pro Vice Chancellor, Branding, International Relations, Corporate Relations, CSR. He has a wide experience in media communication and associated with Business India Group, Z Group, Observer Group, Blitz. Professor Chaudhary comes with years of academic and professional experience. He has worked with various prestigious organizations in different capacities. He is the Secretary of Global Media Education Council, also called as GMAC, where 75 stalwarts, 75 countries, 75 speakers will meet and exchange thoughts for 75 evenings in an intellectual manner. We are honored to have you, sir. Now let me introduce our panelists. Rajpal Yadav, sir. I mean, he needs no introduction, but if I have to tell about him, then I would say he's a renowned artist in Hindi film industry. He's considered amongst the most renowned comedy actors of Indian film industry. He made his first on-screen debut with the movie Dil Kya Kare. Rajpal Yadav ji has made, he made his debut in Telugu film industry with Kick 2 in the year 2015. He performed in a number of mega hits, including Chup Chup Ke, Hangama, Waqt, The Race Against Time, Fir Hera Feri, Garam Masala, and Dhol. Rajpal Yadav ji always preferred to perform in comic roles like Pyar Tune Kya Kiya, Ladies Tailor, मैं माधुरी दीक्षित बनना चाहती हूँ, हेलो हम लल्लन बोल रहे हैं, रामा क्या है ड्रामा, मिर्च, कुश्ती और मैं मेरी पत्नी और वो. For his super hit movie Jungle, he received Sansui Screen Award for the Best Actor in a Negative Role, together with the nominee for Screen Best Actor Award. His movie मैं माधुरी दीक्षित बनना चाहती हूँ, for which he won Yash Bharti Award. Rajpal ji joined Bhartendu Natya Academy in Lucknow from 1992 to 1994 for the sake of learning acting. And after that, after finishing his course of acting, from there, he moved ahead to the National School of Drama in Delhi. We are honored to have Rajpal ji with us today. Then we have Mr. Saptak Niyogi ji, who started his career as an RJ and became the most acknowledged one during his time at Ranchi, Jharkhand. But interestingly, he's a renowned director as well in the magical world that is Bollywood. I mean, he has recently directed a film named Mithu Singh Da Vyas, starring Rajpal Yadav ji, followed by 42 episodes of Crime Patrol, along with 24 episodes of Savdhan India, and almost 60 commercials, corporate ads. Furthermore, 3 films, including Lutera, Kanchi, Raman Raghav 2.0. And also 3 web series, including Pati Patni Aur Wo, Hostages, etc., which are very popular on platforms like Netflix, Voot, and many others. He's an intelligent personality with film edification, would like to interact and take you to the path of Bollywood. Thank you very much for joining us today, sir. Next, we have Mr. Sanjay Narayan Pishardi, who is a marketing professional with more than 20 years of experience in the entertainment marketing, spanning 3 of the top Hollywood studios, 3 top Hollywood studios, which are Warner Brothers, Disney, and Sony, with cross-divisional experience across the theatrical, home video, retail, television, syndication, digital, OTTs, and consumer products landscape. He currently heads the marketing function for Universal's theatrical slate in India at Warner Brothers Pictures India. Thank you very much for joining us today, sir. Then we have Priyanka Tawarji, who completed a filmmaking and cinematography course in the year 2007 to 2008 from Digital Academy, the film school that is in Mumbai, India. She then went on to work as an assistant director in films, telefilms, and commercials with renowned production houses in India. She made her first 10-minute short film titled Bon Anniversaire Ma Chérie in the year 2010. This film is available on YouTube. A 20-minute children's short film titled Little Big George, which was made in the year 2013, was officially selected in 48 film festivals around the world, and it bagged 11 awards. The film is now available on Pocket Films' YouTube channel. My Pot of Gold is a 56-minute film she made in 2016, dedicated to her maternal grandmother, which was also qualified in international film festivals. This film is now available on Pocket Films' YouTube channel. In March 2017, she directed another 20-minute short film, that is While It Lasts, and that has also bagged many awards. So, I mean, if we look at the filmography and the achievements, she has been part of a lot of projects that have been acknowledged at all platforms and at all prestigious platforms. Last in 2019 October, she directed her first commercial Marathi feature film titled Well Done Baby, that was presented by Amazon India in April 2020, is now streaming on Amazon Prime in India, US, UK, and Australia. Thank you very much for joining us, ma'am. And we have Mr. Aftab Ashkar, who is an US-based independent filmmaker. Mr. Aftab began his professional career as an intern with McCann Erickson India. Passionate about storytelling, he moved to ad filmmaking, and that was a natural fit because he started assisting pioneers in ad filmmaking like Prahlad Kakkad, and then worked for Foot Candle Films. Now, with encouragement from friends and family, Mr. Aftab started his own New York-based film production company called Stride Films. Some of his recently produced films include Unfreedom, which is a contemporary thriller about a society torn apart by political, religious, and sexual turmoil set in New York and New Delhi. Recently, he also produced a documentary, Guns and Guitars, a musical travelogue. This musical quest brings to light the positive influence of music emanating from the youth living in the northeast region of India, which is crippled by a state and non-state violence for the last half a century. He has also edited, produced feature films like Code Name Abdul, Where Are You, Sophia, Margaret, The Briefcase, Better Up, Love Lies, and Sita. Now, aside from films, he has worked in commercials and music videos for Walt Disney, Sony, Cossette Communications, DeVito, Verdi, and MTV. Thank you very much for joining us from US, sir. And last panelist for the day, the final panelist for the day is Dr. Professor Amrish Saxena, who is an internationally acclaimed media professional, researcher, author, anchor, political analyst, and a film enthusiast. In DME, he's working as Professor and Dean of DME Media School, Director of DME Studios and Production, Director Coordinator of IQAC, and Director of International Relations. Dr. Saxena has worked on all media platforms, print, radio, TV, films, digital media for past 40 years. In print, he has held senior positions in the Pioneer, Our Leader, Aaj, and Amrit Prabhat newspaper. In radio, he has been anchoring business program Market Mantra on AIR FM Gold since 2001. In TV, he has worked with Vinod Dua for Parakh News Magazine on Doordarshan. In films, he has done projects for Films Division and NFTC. He's an academic with world recognition, having authored over 46 books. Dr. Saxena has remained engaged in filmmaking for more than 30 years. His latest venture is Bhaskar Bechain, in which he is associated as executive producer, Cover Drive Productions 2020. And he has also been executive producer of Me Too, We All Let's Speak Up documentary on Me Too movement that was made during his tenure in 2018 in DME. So I would like to thank all the panelists and the moderator, sir. And I would like to now hand over the entire program to Professor Ujjwal, sir, to take the program forward. Thank you very much.
First of all, I really appreciate DME Academy for continuing with Cineast International Film Festival for the third year in a row, the first year being physical, second year being digital, and third year being hybrid, which is the order of tomorrow. Tomorrow, today and tomorrow, the world will move to a hybrid world, whether it's education, whether it's film, festival, whether it's even judiciary, whether it's business, whether it's medical counseling and consulting, and even to that matter, even in relationships. Hybrid will be the world ahead for interaction. So today we are in a hybrid mode, and that's interesting to really get us here together, and I really appreciate DME Academy. So some of our panelists have already joined. I can see Sanjay ji, I can see Aftab, and I can see Priyanka ji, and I'm hoping Saptag and Rajpal ji to join any moment. So nevertheless, as they have joined, and I really appreciate some of our colleagues who have joined in spite of their important schedule today, and important and certain work which is going on at this point of time. In case of Mr. Yadav, the shoot is going on, and even as we speak. So let's hope that he can join successfully. The issue that we are taking up at this point is that the pandemic, which is now raging for almost 2 years, a little less than 2 years, maybe around 20 months, in India and across the world for 2 years, and which is now facing another new variant called it's called Omicron, but some people pronounce it Omicron, and that makes me exclaim, "Oh my God!" So now, what happens in the next 1 month or 2 months, we'll know whether it's "Oh my God" or Omicron only. Let's see that. But we hope that because there is a mass vaccination around the world, things will be better. But given this situation, how has cinema shaped up in the last 1.5 years? And where do you see cinema going from here? We have seen that OTT has come up. We have seen that several, use of short format cinema has come up. We have seen in recent times, screen release of films started happening. Suryavanshi was there and many more. We have seen some of the top stars going completely on OTT. Gulabo Sitabo, we know with Amitabh Bachchan there. So we are seeing things happening which were unthinkable sometime earlier, 5 years earlier. Where do we go from here? Both in production, because there are constraints on production, number of people who can be on set and things like that. And both in production, the themes, the type of content that it comes out now, with the OTT having a free run, even the themes of the cinema has to change. The mainstream cinema has to change. And with challenges in theater release, what's the impact there? With the star concept having a major challenge. And globally, what are the trends? In marketing, what are the trends? So even before we get into the production side, let me call Sanjay. We'll keep our rapporteur or points of view very briefly. So we can begin with Sanjay ji. Sanjay ji, who looks into the business side of entertainment, is aware of what will make money, how, and what processes and channels should be taken. So let's listen from Sanjay ji in brief about what are the challenges he is facing, his colleagues are facing, his peers are facing with respect to marketing and management of entertainment and marketing of cinema. Sanjay ji, you are already introduced, so I'm not again reintroducing. So let's have your voice first, and then we'll go to Aftab to US. Over to Sanjay ji.
Thank you, Ujjwal ji, and thank you to all my other esteemed panel members and other organizing committee for inviting me and having me. I'd like to start, like you said, I actually kind of do well more on the business side of things. And what we have seen so far, is that I represent actually, I come from over 20 years of experience in theatrical distribution. And as you know, this the pandemic definitely has affected theatrical distribution and its revenue. It's been almost coming up to 2 years now. Like the business has been severely constrained in most markets internationally. Various markets have been different stages of coming back or recovery from COVID, but no doubt.
So Sanjay Narayan was speaking about the various formats of cinema that are coming up, the different formats which look at shorter versions also, newer economies also, newer ways of looking at the entire world of cinema. So he was looking at this, and he was also talking about how the markets are coming back to some extent to the normal situation, and that what impact will it be bringing in times to come. But we'd like to hear him again with the clarity of the voice to understand, and with examples as well. So I move to Aftab Asghar now. Aftab Asghar has joined us from US. It's 1 o'clock in the night at this point of time. In case of Aftab, thank you for joining. And his one current film is already being viewed. It's in the public domain. So I'll request him to speak about the current film. What were the challenges, the theme of it, and what were the challenges to launch the current film? And what lessons can we draw from it about the cinema's return to the public post-pandemic? It was there, it was never gone, but it went on to a different situation where halls were closed. So how is cinema rejuvenating itself? Over to you, Mr. Asghar.
Hi. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much, Ujjwal sir, for putting everything together, and all the other people who are helping putting this festival together. Releasing the film in this pandemic situation was very difficult, not just for me, but for the whole team. We have been trying to release the film from past 2 years. We shot this film called Codename Abdul like 3 years ago, and the time we were ready to launch it, the pandemic hit. So it was the beginning of 2020, and now we got a date on 2021 December. So December 10th, we launched the film in theaters. Although it's not a huge film, it's still an independent kind of project, but we were able to release it into like 50 theaters in India and over 24 states in US. So it's not a huge release, but we were able to release it. What we learned is that people are still not returning to the theaters anymore the way it was before. And even the government restrictions are that you cannot fill up the theaters for more than 50%. So anyways, it's decreasing to half the capacity where it should be. Same thing is happening in US. We released this film in US, and people are not coming back. Especially in US, their restrictions are different kind. There's a political angle here too. I was traveling to India last month, and during the release of the film, we saw the people, the way they take pandemic is very different than America. Like the people take it here is very different. So the problem is that even though there'll be a lot more restrictions, especially with the new variants coming up throughout the world, but some part of the world is reacting differently to the restrictions and going to theaters and their habits than other part of the world. So it's very weird. It's very new situation, not for me, for everybody who is making the film in this pandemic situations and trying to release it in theaters. It's a very difficult situation, even with this new variant, which just it's gripping the whole US right now. Everything is shutting down. So it's kind of a bit like sad situation because there's so many new good projects coming up from different studios, and people are stopping now. Even today, my family was supposed to travel from India to US, and India has they have new restrictions for flying, so they're stuck in India right now. So what I'm trying to explain is everything is unpredictable. Even though 1 month ago I was saying like it's opening, people are coming in, things are getting released now. But again, the new variant hit and everything is changing. Today, the Pfizer company who launched this vaccination program in US, and they have developed this vaccine, they have announced that the vaccine they have developed is not working the way they expected. So they're working on the new booster shots, which can help people cope with the situation and work against the variant. So again, why I'm telling all this, everybody knows that more or less, but the thing is, everything is impacting the industry. And there's some good thing happens during this pandemic, in my opinion, and there's something really bad happens. Obviously, we lost a lot of people, near ones and dear ones, but I would like to focus on the good things. And the good thing is that the world has changed for good, at least for the cinema and for the films, for the video making, and whole entertainment industry is completely changed. It's not same anymore. I don't think so it's going to be same anymore in the future also. The way we used to conceive and perceive cinema and entertainment in general is different. It's very different situation now than it was before 2020. People used to make films to release in theaters. People didn't have any appetite for TV the way we consume it now. People didn't have any appetite for online content. People didn't know much about Netflix, for example, or they didn't hear about Amazon Prime, or there was no services launched like Disney Plus or Peacock or any news-centric or film-centric or TV-centric kind of streaming. Now you see everything is everywhere. And I think it is good for the end user, which is the spectators, that they have so many options open. And now they have come to realize that it's not just one way to see the theaters. It's not just one way to interact with the entertainment, consume entertainment, or getting the news the same way. It's different now. And I think it's a good thing, because people have learned new techniques when it comes to produce cinema or produce entertainment or produce news. For example, nobody knew before that how to go live. Only it was reserved for big news agencies to have a truck, and then you have to uplink it to satellite and then do the live. Now we are doing a Zoom call, collaborating multinational kind of operation in just your laptop or iPad or iPhone. So it all, I think, become accessible, even more accessible after the pandemic. And that's a good thing. And same thing happened for the cinema, same thing happened for the entertainment industry. People who only dream about making cinema, now they can actually go out, think about it, and make it. The tools which used to be so expensive are now so cheap after this pandemic, because there's so many. I mean, I don't know about other industry, but at least for the entertainment industry, at least 20 new cameras has been launched in last 2 years. And that is not slowing down anytime soon. I mean, yesterday, Sony has launched an amazing camera, which anybody can use and create a content which can be played in theaters. So that's an amazing thing. And it's so affordable, it's unbelievable. Like if you compare the rates of the tools which produce content, is so different from 5 years from now. I mean, if you go back in 5 years, compare the tools now, it's like day and night difference. And that's a good thing for people who want to make cinema, who want to make entertainment thing, who want to make news, who want to make reels, who want to create some content. There are new avenues like YouTube, and people have learned things like reels. You can make small reels. And I see like a lot of people are making millions of followers through content creation and just by their phone. So what I'm trying to explain is it's not, the entertainment industry is not same anymore. So if we used to say that, okay, you want to see films, you go to theaters, that was very conventional way to say. But now I think in last 2-3 years, and I think you all will agree with that, it has changed. The very meaning of entertainment has changed, right? So if I'm on my phone, for example, which most of the people are, we are not watching films all the time. We want to see reels. We want to see Instagram videos. We want to see Facebook videos. And people are creating amazing content. Like it can entertain you for hours and hours and hours. And that was the whole purpose of actually creating films. And it's not just fun thing. It is also, there's some news channel who are producing, like if you go to New York Times Reels, they're putting amazing content, which has a lot of message and in a very, very brief time. And that is a good thing. You don't actually have to waste so much time to actually understand a message. You understand that thing in like under 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute. And that's amazing thing. One thing I think you all will agree that after this bombardment of all these different avenues, streaming platforms, YouTube or Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or Peacock, there's so many streaming, everything is bombarding you, right? So before that, you have to buy a ticket or you have to buy a newspaper and go to watch film or read a newspaper. So you have to approach, it was one-way approach to your entertainment or news or whatever. But now the approach has changed. Now you just sit and the things approaches you. So even if you don't want it, it approaches you somehow. Everybody has phone, everybody has internet now, and that's a big thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you have even a small device, you can produce good content right now. Whether it is film or not. And people, I'm sorry, I would just want to connect these two dots first, that after this bombardment of all kind of avenues, I think people, attention span has really shortened up now. So people, I mean, my personal opinion, people are not paying attention to very long format unless it is extraordinary, it is out of this world. And they're paying attention to something which is very small. Just come, watch and go. They don't want to spend unnecessary 3 hours or something which is not required, right? Even, and that thing, I think goes for anything. So if you're like, we used to watch so many films in 80s and 90s, which is not even entertaining by today's standard by any means. But now you will watch something which is really, you feel it is customized for you. It is catering to you specifically. You can watch it, you can find its location, where it is provided, which streaming platform or which theater is playing. You can customize it, you can download it, you can watch it anytime. So that was not there before. And because of that, the content creation is also getting, I mean, the quality of content creation is increasing day by day, right? And that is a good thing, that if your content is not good, whether it's film or something else, people are not going to watch it. So if you see the market, if you see all the leading platform, most of the content is good. I mean, the baseline, the threshold where they should say, okay, this is a good content, but it's gone way higher than it was like 3 years before. And I think it is all goes to, I think the pandemic really, like it's a blessing in disguise, but it really helped speed up that process of people. Like if I take an example of India right now, like how many people knew about internet the way they see it now, right now, how they knew how to use internet the way they do it right now. Like 3 years ago, they didn't know that, but now they learned so much. Now a person who is working in some kind of village is doing live. Can you imagine? I mean, how powerful is that? You can see their stories. They know what to say before. They know what kind of content it should be and what goes into that. I mean, that is, the whole world has changed. Anyways, coming back to the topic
Aftab, the 2 points are very well said. The online medium's exposure to the world has increased by leaps and bounds. That's right. And availability of technology and techniques to produce cinema cheap at a large number, democratization to an extent of the medium has happened due to pandemic. Very well said. The question specifically, how are individual producers and directors managing in this crisis? Because you have also talked about that uncertainty of the moment. Now, your film codename Abdul, which is a thriller, has just now been released. How are you taking it to your audience and how are you monetizing it?
So right now, it's just like I think an internal thing, but just to tell the students who might be watching this program right now, but there are two ways to go on streaming platforms right now, and we are trying to capture one thing. If you are a no-name kind of filmmaker, and if you're trying to release your some kind of film or some content on streaming platform like Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus something, if you are already established producer or director or an actor, then it's easy comparatively. But if you're not established, or if you're coming up, or if you're just starting up, then it's very difficult to get onto those streaming platforms if you don't have right contact. So if you somehow manage to materialize on this situation right now that you can release your film, it will help you greatly in selling your content to the streaming platforms in the future too. So I think we were thinking initially to release the film on before pandemic, and then when pandemic hit, we were thinking that maybe we should just sell it to some streaming platform in whatever money they want to buy it for. But then we said no, let's wait. It might can get over in a year or something, which it didn't. But we were trying our best, but it didn't work. But we glad that we didn't release it on the streaming platform, because the calls we are getting after releasing the film in theaters is amazing, and the reaction we are getting from people in the industry and all the reviewers who are people who are watching the film, and word of mouth, and it was not a huge release. That's what I'm saying. So it's great, and interacting with people one-to-one, seeing audience watching a film in theater is a great feeling. You cannot get that feeling when you're releasing a film on the streaming platform. So, but yes, it's go hand in hand, and I think it helped us in releasing the film in theater also, because the social platform is so strong nowadays, and there are different kind of ways you can monetize. For example, we took great help of Facebook marketing team. We took great help from Instagram. We spreaded the word through YouTube and all the streaming platforms, wherever we can put the content, to have it in front of the people and let them make the decision if they want to go to the theaters. So before you have to spend millions of dollars.
I understand.
In US,
the marketing cost has gone down because of social media's impact. Now the question: are you getting theaters to release the film in US, or where are you releasing it?
Yes, we released in 27 states, around 200 theaters in US.
Okay.
And the way they release it is they have a network of theaters where you uplink, you sell them, then they uplink into the satellite, then they distribute it among the theaters. So it's not a physical copy anymore; it's all digital copy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you sell them the code that they buy the code from you, that okay, we can show the in the theater for like 100 times. And then they buy the code for 100 times. So once it's done, then the theaters cannot show it anymore. That kind of setting arrangements they have. But it's more or less like a streaming platform, but with an account number. And then they take it from there. It works well, then they increase the show times. It all depends on the performance of the content, whatever you're putting it out there.
So thank you for that. And good Absolutely. To see Sanjay ji also in a different place and avatar. But let's listen to one or two other speakers who are waiting with us. I have with me an awarded film director, Priyanka Tanwarji, who has already been introduced earlier. His short films have got awards. His 2 feature films have come up, one for children and one in Marathi language feature film. And she's preparing on other projects now. So as a new age filmmaker, what are the challenges you saw during the pandemic? How are you and your colleagues, your peers, shaping up with it? What are your comments cinema's rejuvenation post-pandemic, Priyanka ji. Over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for having me here. My film, I started as a filmmaker in 2010 when I was much younger, just fresh out of film school. And at that time, I started with many short films. And in 2010 and 2012, short films didn't have a big market at all. We were young filmmakers coming together and making things for free with whatever we had. But now, fortunately, sir, with pocket films and things like that, with the digital era, we never knew that the only way our films got shown were in film festivals. And now, after the whole thing of pocket films and larger shorts, our short films have a chance to come out now. Also, because of doing short films, so I got a chance to do Well Done Baby, which is our film right now that is streaming on Amazon Prime. And I made this film in 2019. We shot this film in London, and just before the pandemic, we finished shooting in 2019 in 2020 in March, and we were about to get into edit and post production, and we got into lockdown. So it was extremely difficult, sir, for us to my producers. I had 3 producers: Anand Pandit, who's a very famous producer, and my actor and producer Pushkar Zog, who's also a very famous producer actor in Marathi cinema. So they told me that we have to finish this film in the lockdown. And it's not possible to edit and do post sitting at home. But we managed to do. So many people say, our actors always said that our film was not a COVID baby, but it was. Well Done Baby was a COVID baby for us, because we did the entire post-production sitting at home. I was coordinating with my editors, with my sound designer sitting in London, with music director sitting in Bombay. We were all sitting at home and doing this film. It is not easy, sir, because as short films, when we did short films, you have to be there with your team to know what the film is going to be for their creativity and their creative inputs. But we did the whole film sitting at home, and it was a big challenge, because it isn't easy to sit at home and tell an editor to keep making changes. So after the film was made, my producer decided to wait first for the film to release. And as a young filmmaker, this is my first commercial feature film. I've done feature films before, they are festival films. But I always hoped that my film released in a theater with an audience, like Mr. Aftab said, that it's a different high watching an audience watching a film in a theater rather than sitting at home and watching an OTT film. But they waited. But as we knew that the dates kept going and COVID was spreading, they decided to look for an OTT. Marathi cinema, anyway, as I am a non-Marathi filmmaker, I come from a very different background, but I had an opportunity to direct a Marathi film because my the writer of the film was a friend of mine, and it gave me an opportunity they wanted a non-Marathi director to shoot a film in London. So when that happened, I never knew. I didn't know that, because I was told that Marathi cinema, the audience in India, in Bombay, especially in Maharashtra, they only go to watch Marathi films which are about like Shivaji or historical films. Nobody goes for a light-hearted film. Our film was a simple film about a couple who gets pregnant and who are on the brink of divorce, and how they decide to continue their marriage. When they decided, we were pleasantly surprised when we got to know that Amazon decided to present our film, and as was one of the 3 Marathi films that were presented by Amazon for the very first time. So we got a launch with Amazon, and I remember Amazon was an amazing team. We had a very good PR team when the film released, and a lot of the journalists asked us the difference of having your film released on OTT and in theaters. Definitely, I say that the boon, it is sad that our film didn't release in theaters, because we didn't have a bigger audience to see our film. We shot in London with drones and everything. Watching all that on a small screen does not do justice. However, we got a very good audience on OTT, but we still didn't get a reach, sir, because Marathi cinema in India, not many people have Amazon. Not many people. This film, if I would say that if our film released on television, maybe we would have got a wider audience to watch it.
Yeah, but so, increasingly, the OTT is coming up in a big way. I'll get back to you, Priyanka ji, with a few more questions.
Yes.
But we are happy to have with us Mr. Rajpal Yadav, who has just taken 5 minutes away from his ongoing shooting of Bhool Bhulaiya 2. And we all know about Rajpal ji. He has been introduced a little earlier formally by Pramod ji. So I'm not repeating Rajpal ji's, everyone loves him like anything on screen. Rajpal ji, if you could come on the video, please. You are there, I am seeing, but if you could come on the video, please. And if you could, speak a few words on how you are looking at cinema in the pandemic times. What sort of projects are you working in? What are you seeing around you? Rajpalji, your audio and video is off, is unable to join. It's okay. We'll get back. Yeah. Sanjay ji, I understand you are also in short of time. No problem. Let them, in the meantime, sort out technologically. Let's have Sanjay ji back in the show. Last time we missed a bit of your audio, but this time I think we can join properly. So you could continue with the discussion of how cinema is changing its face due to pandemic. What do you see from a marketing and business perspective going ahead? One case study was given by Aftab in his case, and certain points were brought in. If you could also carry forward the discussion that you were doing. Sanjay ji.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, very much better.
Yeah,
much better.
Super. So, I was just telling, that the times have changed. It's very correct. Some of the points the earlier panelists talked about, very, very relevant points. And, especially what is spoken about Marathi cinema and the challenges regarding it. Excellent point. One of the points that she mentioned was, the fact that, however, you can put it on digital, and you can even put it in, it's very difficult to get cinema screens for Marathi films. It's a challenge because India continues to be, at some level under-screened market. We've got around about 13,000 screens. No, actually, it's right now down to 9,500 screens for a population of 1.2 billion. Whereas the US has got around about 35,000 screens for a population of 300 million. So actually, we are an under-screened market, and some of the challenges comes for independent filmmakers to find their screens theatrically. Now, another point that she brought out, very, very relevant is that even to get the films played on television is a big challenge because network television runs on ratings. And due to this, due to the ratings game that goes on, they only play commercial content. It's very, very difficult for independent filmmakers to get their content played on network television, and that continues to be the challenge. What's kind of helped independent filmmakers, I really think, is the growth of OTT platforms and the rapid growth of like even short films for that matter, and the rapid acceptance of that on social networks and and Instagram and TikTok. It's kind of had a chance for budding filmmakers to actually kind of at least start showcasing their talents to some level. The pandemic just kind of accelerated that whole shift to digital. Having said that, some of the the impact that a release on theaters give, that cannot be really diluted. It continues to be there. If you need to go out and make noise, be seen, and achieve a certain amount of success, theatrical releases do help that in a large measure, and that's not going to change in the near future. However, digital releases are giving the chance for newer filmmakers, newer talent to actually kind of their start off is actually kind of become a little easier. Without these platforms, I think it was a struggle to get noticed. But I think a lot of budding filmmakers and budding talent, is today actually getting better chances at entering the industry. So in that sense, the COVID environment has kind of accelerated this adoption of digital. But theatrical continues to have certain preeminence in terms of how what it means for a filmmaker to kind of see their releases on screen. That's acknowledged world over by filmmakers.
Great. Yes, theatrical would be the mainstay of business, no doubt. But don't you think that customization of content in the mobile and through OTT would take a different route in content? So the Ben Hur type content, Jodha Akbar type content will be far and in between. And it will be more like Mr. and Mrs. Iyer. Everyone says, I'm fine. Alternate cinema or less character cinema like Mashan. Is that the trend that we are going to see world over?
See, it's a trend that everyone's pointing to. In fact, we are seeing it after the COVID. What we have seen upfront is that, the bigger films like Suryavanshi and, even for that matter, our own release, Godzilla vs. Kong, or, our Bond film or the Spider-Man film, these are the ones that have done well after the pandemic is, the second phase of the pandemic. But, if you really think that, the middle cinema or the interesting thought-provoking films, like you mentioned, Masan, and some of these films, if they don't find theatrical releases and they're only going to go to OTT, I'm not too sure it's actually going to have, it's going to swing both ways. On the one hand, actually, I believe that multiplexes, for instance, need all kinds of movies. They cannot survive on a staple of blockbusters alone. Neither is it possible for them to kind of only showcase films that are, very niche and, not going to get houseful audiences day in and day out. But if so, there has to be a balance. I definitely don't think that however well you can plan it, you can have a blockbuster every week. 52 weeks blockbusters cannot be provided. If that formula was there, then somebody would have been a billionaire, trillionaire by now. If there was a formula for success like that, you might get the biggest stars, the biggest special effects, the best team. You can still come up with a really big dud at the box office. So I don't think the answer is really only, but to an extent you will see that bigger scale films are preferred, definitely, because the audience today also thinks that going to the cinema means they need large scale entertainment. There will be a preference towards and a movement towards that, which is already being seen in the West. Most of the studios have actually kind of scaled down their releases to about 5 to 10 releases a year, which are all big budget, focusing on the big budget films. But I don't think that, in the long term, cinema can, survive only on those kind of, epic sort to say blockbusters. It has to kind of treat, it has to, speak about the human condition regardless. That's what my thought is.
Great. So the scope of cinema is increasing with the coming in of OTT, with the coming in of techno-driven consumption, and side by side, the theaters will also survive. As you say, there may not be 52 blockbusters, but there will be some blockbuster over time. So anyone eyeing a good blockbuster has a greater chance of success, because clash of multiple blockbusters will not be seen much in times to come. Do you think so?
The clash of multiple blockbusters is the way forward. What's been seen, especially after this second wave of COVID is, that regional cinema actually has grown tremendously. And, Marathi has not, grown to the extent it should. But, we have seen already that, the audience acceptance for content coming from Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, that is Tamil and Telugu films, is tremendous now. Even Kannada films are going to grow in the future, but already these two southern states, the acceptance levels for films from there, the audience pull from those states is tremendous. This means that not only Hindi, but you will see increasingly Tamil, Telugu films competing for the same kind of audience space, and OTT platforms have kind of contributed to this in a large measure by, because audiences have found all these languages by watching them on subtitled or dubbed versions.
Yes,
People have actually discovered all this cinema.
Good example is Jai Bhim. Very good example is Jai Bhim. It's a Tamil cinema and it's already a blockbuster, and through OTT and with mainstream actors, all mainstream actors,
and audiences across India.
From abroad, many NRIs are commenting on the platform after watching it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Any new project you are personally handling at this point of time, and how are you handling it?
So we have got a huge slate of releases. We've actually started the theatrical recovery in India. We released Fast and Furious 9. We've followed it by the Bond film. We've also releasing very small films, by the way. We released an extremely niche film called Last Night in Soho. We released House of Gucci. So it's not just the mainstream blockbuster that we are putting out there. We are releasing the smaller films. Next year, we have some, Academy Award, hopefuls like Licorice Pizza and Cyrano. And, these films are also, these are going to be smaller releases, but we are going to put it out there. So we continue to believe that, all kinds of film do have an audience. We just need to, it's my job to market and find an audience for that. So we've got very, very interesting projects next year coming up. Like I mentioned, this absolute gem of a film called Licorice Pizza. We have Cyrano starring Peter Dinklage. These are very small, budgeted films. I mean, as in niche audience films, but in its own way, they have got high quality. Our company is also releasing a film called Belfast, which has got one of the most nominated films at Golden Globes and will be very highly nominated at the Oscar Awards as well. And apart from that, we are also going to release next year blockbusters, big screen blockbusters like Jurassic World Dominion, Minions franchise, and something from the Shrek franchise. Puss in Boots is going to come up. We're going to have a big screen version of Mario from the video game universe. So we're looking forward to an extremely exciting 2022 with almost around about 20 plus films theatrically
that's very encouraging, and in such times to listen to these, that 20 new releases, including a few blockbusters coming from abroad, marketed through your efforts, that's really great. Before you leave, Khushi Sharma from the audience asked this question, that older films were longer in duration. These days, they are increasingly becoming shorter. Why is it so? How has the concept of the content has changed over time? A brief comment on that.
Very, very good question. Interesting question. And a good question, Khushi, I must acknowledge that. And, it just points to sort of, our whole attention span. As audiences, our attention spans have become shorter. You've seen people, I remember in my father's time, movies used to be on an average 3 hours plus. They used to have around about, almost up to 15 to 20 songs. By the time it was my generation, I already couldn't see that many songs or, sit through that 3 hours. It had become around about 2.5 hours. But with the current generation, which is growing up, especially what you call, the people who are born post 2015, those children will be actually growing up on content that's as short as 5 to 10 seconds. They're going up, they're an audience that is brought up on a staple of Instagram Reels or TikTok. They have attention spans of as less as 5 seconds. So, it's a natural trend. It's a trend that's pointing to that. In fact, I also strongly believe that short films eventually will have a paid audience also. There will be people who will be willing to pay for short films. We are going there. Some of the short films are very, very interesting. As people get used to short films, consuming short films from an early age, they'll actually really, really be big audiences for that in the future. A whole earlier generation actually did not grow up on short films, and that's why they don't follow it very closely. But I think the newer generation is completely going to be behind short form content as well.
Great, thank you, Sanjay ji. Very, very well exemplified and illustrated, and hope to see you in another similar discourse or discussion sometime again. And it's good to have you. We are all one of the partners of this program. This whole film festival is Global Media Education Council, which brings in corporate leaders in its 75 series of 75 evenings. 26 are over. So one of these evenings we'd like to invite you. That's an audience from 7 different countries who are members there. So would love to have this sort of interaction there as well. Thank you. And thank you very much. I move to Priyanka ji. Priyanka ji, let's begin with a question that Professor Pramod Kumar Tanwar has asked. Passion for filmmaking comes with its own set of challenges. Even when everything is ready, funds can be a problem. And the COVID situation is a new addition to this already existing rapporteur of challenges. So in this context, what message you would like to give to our students who aspire to be part of films in various capacities? Now, I do understand as an academician and a professional in the industry that fund is not the only challenge. The challenge is also having a producible script, completely finalized script. So many a time we just write a 3-page story outline and consider it's ready for shoot, which is not the case. But fund is also a challenge. You have made several short films and 2 or 3 of them have got awarded as well. So Priyanka ji, over to you to answer this question first, and then we can carry forward.
Yeah. So I must say what you said is absolutely right. All the short films that I have made till today is with the efforts of the money that I have put in. It has come from my family, and my crew members have been my friends who are doing very well in the film industry now. And they are all first assistant directors and directors themselves. So, yes, when I started in 2010, it was very difficult for me to get a finance from externally, because in 2010 I was always made fun of that, why are you even doing short films? You should continue being an assistant director. But my whole point is that if you have to prove yourself as a director, you cannot be an assistant for a long time. I don't say that in a bad way. Yes, you will eventually become a director, but you have to show your work. An assistant director's job is only very technical. And all my friends have become directors only being assistant directors and not making short films. And that's a totally different path, I must say. But when I started making short films, it was very difficult to get a platform. Even sending it to film festivals, like all my fellow filmmakers know, is you have to have money. You have to have funds to put in your films at film festivals, whether it's an early bird entry or a late entry. And there's a lot of money that goes there. So I always feel that now the difference is that we're having so many producers, like with big actors coming in, like Neena Gupta and Tiska Chopra coming into the short film industry. First, there were big actors who didn't want to do short films at all. So we took young actors and upcoming actors, and that is why our reach was not that much. Also, there was no Instagram. Facebook was there, but Instagram was not that prevalent as it is now to promote our work. So it is very challenging till date. Yes, Pocket Films has been very, very nice to me by taking all my films. Our films were also on Hotstar through Pocket Films, but the rate of return that we got for those films was not much at all. We spent a lot of money on all the 3 films that I made, and it came from my own pocket. So, but the only good thing from that was at least I got a chance to show my work as a filmmaker, and I got more work after that from other financiers and other producers. So yes, you definitely have to have the passion, but that passion can only be supported if you have good producers who help you get that vision out. A film can be made in 5,000 rupees, and that same film can be made in 5 CR. But that shows the difference. Like walking, if you want to show a shot, a scene that is happening in the snow, a 5,000 rupee film will just be one shot. But if you have a 5 crore film and shooting that one film in the snow, I can shoot that entire scene for the whole day. So what I just conclude, sir, that yes, passion has to be there, but we need financiers and we need producers who have the vision to help support that passion, because it's been really tough for us. Like I've got such great scripts right now, and we are pitching really hard, and there are people who are interested, but unfortunately the market is only such that, like, financing films for us right now is a little tough.
Okay. Taken. There's another question from Pramod Kumar. Thanks you. There's another question from Shashank. I mean, general question, like nowadays many Western influenced films are also coming, and we are losing cultures of India. I'm sure it's not for all the films, but do you have any answer to that on the cultural content of films?
So the thing is, like I said, all the films, if you watch the films that I make, I come from a background of a Roman Catholic family. I've been brought up watching films like My Fair Lady and The Towering Inferno, because my parents are of that age group, So when I write my scripts, yes, my scripts are all in English, but I am Indian. My father's a Rajput, and I come from an Indian culture. So yes, there is that whole feel of we try to westernize a lot of the work that we do. However, the content that we write is very, very Indian based, and unless we are making a Vanity Fair like Meera Nair did, where even she being Indian, most of her first films were all Indian based, whether it was Monsoon Wedding and all her other films. So yes, there is a little bit of that Western culture, I feel, in the younger filmmakers mainly, more than the older filmmakers. But eventually we come down to our own roots, because that is who we are. Like, that's all we know. If I'm going to try and make a Jurassic Park, maybe in the future by God's grace, but I don't know that. I have to learn. I have to learn how to make. I have to learn animation. I need to know how things work there. So I feel eventually I will come back to my roots. I live in Mumbai. I live in a community of mixed people. So eventually my characters and the families that I write about will always be Indian. So I feel a good mix is very important.
Great. We'll come back to you one more time. And that time, please focus on how a youngster of a college who has learned filmmaking properly as a trainee over 3 years, how does he proceed with good stories into script that can be produced, and then move to producers and directors? We'll come back on that. But let's bring a new speaker now, Mr. Saptak Nyogi. He has also been introduced a bit earlier. I think Saptak is there. Saptak, can you come on video?
Yeah, he's trying from past half an hour, but as he is shooting Bulbulaya 2, so he's unable to do that Zoom wala stuff. So he's not familiar with that thing. So he's trying. I will let him help once again.
Yes, once again you try after you speak. Once again you try to get him towards the end of the show. That will be a great ending to the show, by the way. So you have just made your first feature film, planning next films. How have you gone ahead from a young lad, I should say a young lad from Ranchi, who was at one point of time voice of Ranchi, the most loved RJ there. I saw your fan following, and more particularly among girls in Ranchi. And from there you moved on to Bombay, and you studied in Whistling Wood also, and then you moved on to production, television production. Yeah. So tell a bit of that story so that it's inspiring for the youngsters. Over to you.
Sir, actually it's all started with the creativity. Like once I realized that I love writing and speaking everything, once I realized that I can express myself without any hesitation. Because once we are in this industry, we should don't hesitate for any stuff, sir, whatever it is. Is it for writing? Is it for speaking? Is it for saying anything? So I realized that thing, sir. And second thing, I just need a path. How to go, how to enter, how to do, how to think, how to express myself. That's how. So it's all started. Capital is a very small platform to start off with, sir. But when you come down for TV, there are a hell lot of challenges. Once I remember, sir, director, he mentioned me one thing, that once I start doing film, I realized that TV is more tough, because in TV you have less resources, you have less time, you have less budget. But in film, it's like vast. You can shoot it on your way. You want to reshoot it again, you can shoot it. But in TV, you have a target that next day there is a telecast. You have to do something 12 minutes, 20 minutes. So that's a challenge. So I think that the story started from that time only. Once I start doing my challenges, complete my target, and doing apart that creative stuff as well with that, I think that is something turning point, so that I can have the capability that let's make a film this time.
Great. What was the theme of the first film with Rajpal ji? A brief on that, if you could speak.
Yeah, in this film, Rajpal ji is there, Hemant Pandey, Vijay Raj, Apar Shakti, they are here in this film. So basic concept which I went to narrate Rajpal sir, that एक छोटा सरदार है जिसको हंसी से फोबिया है, पर उसको देख के सबको हंसी आती है. So this is the first narration which I mentioned him once, and he liked it. कि छोटा सरदार मतलब मैं इसमें फिट हो सकता हूँ. So in my brain, I always remember whenever we see a Sardar, he is like हट्टा कट्टा, gent and heavy. वो हंसते खुल के हैं, वो खाते खुल के हैं, वो गले खुल के मिलते हैं. और ये जो छोटा सरदार है, ये हंसता ही नहीं है, पर इसकी हरकतों पे सबको हंसी आती है. And he is surrounded by good actors like Vijay Raj, Apar Shakti, Hemant Pandey. So when this kind of actors are surrounded by them, तो वो कहते हैं ना सर एक चार चांद लगना is not a big deal. So he loved the story and he proceed for it immediately. And then we go for the look test and all. Once we done the look test, he is like fitting like anything. So if once this meeting get over, I will share a small poster of Rajpal ji, like a Chota Sardar, how he looks like. And we have a very good actress opposite him. This is recently 2-3 movies of Punjabi, Rakh Hausla, Phupad ji. These are my super hit of her. So in Punjab, she is like well known there. So once this team start working, sir, so you don't have to think much. They create a scene of their own because they are so, you can say, maja hua khiladi. They just create their own scene. You only have to write that I want it, sir. That's it. And they will cook it for you like this. That's it.
What's the actor's name? We missed it.
One is Rajpal ji. Another one is Hemant Pandey and Vijay Raj. Vijay Raj is very known actor. And Apar Shakti, Ayushman ka bhai Apar Shakti. And this girl known as Anu Chaudhary. Okay. So these 5 actors has been there, and there are few actors from Punjab and Bombay also.
Interesting. Very interesting. I look forward to meet the Chota Sardar who doesn't smile but makes others smile.
Yeah, and it's going to release this Holi, sir. This Holi.
Okay, and yeah. I'm also going to watch it because the actress who is a Punjabi actress, Anu Chaudhary, bears the same name as my departed mother. She was also Anu Chaudhary. So I'd love to really watch it. So how did you go about the fundraising of your film?
Sir, look, the background which I have come from or I have learned. There was a movie called Raman Raghavan and Anurag Kashyap, sir. I was there as assistant director. And I was a part of Crime Patrol Saavdhan. So my genre or my thinking is completely this brutality, murder, and investigating thriller. So this is a story I got from, there is an actor known as Anil Dhawan. David Dhawan ke bade bhai, Anil Dhawan. He is like one mega star of his time, Anil Dhawan. So he one day narrated me a story. कि मेरे पास एक story है, इसको अगर तू करेगा, तो इसके लिए राजपाल fit बैठेगा. तो बात करेगा क्या तू अपने हिसाब से? तो he just mentioned me this thing only over a cup of tea because Anil sir is my neighbor. I started the story from that point, sir. Took the story, we start on it, and we go ahead with that kind of stuff only, sir. And this is how the entire thing started and goes on. Once we reach to Rajpal sir liked it. Vijay Raj says, I am in for it. क्योंकि मेरे को मजा आ रहा है, मेरे को अलग character करने मिल रहा है because he is psychic. He started laughing and crying at a moment. He do the both kind of stuff at the same time. So he said that I'm
super.
He is super actor. Vijay Raj is super actor, sir, and he do his stuff in a fabulous different way. So this is how it's all started with the small steps, sir. So baby steps become the entire thing.
Right, good. For youngsters, just tell some 1 or 2 characters that Vijay Raj has done in past cinema. Some interesting characters. Monsoon Wedding.
Sir in Gully Boy. He has done a fabulous character of Ranveer Singh dad. In this Sherni, he has done a superb job as an officer. So these 2 are the most hammering. I think now Vijay has done, and Dhamal, he has fabulous one. He was hosting the traffic control of airport. He was fabulous at Dhamal. And there are like many things Vijay Raj has done. In Kawa Biryani is one of the famous stuff of him. So he is a versatile actor and he do character in his own mood.
After making your money and name in Crime Patrol, you are now focused on cinema only again? Cinema
yes, and now after this project, I start getting movies slowly. And now it's a platform of OTT. So OTT is something where a newcomer can show his talent. So we don't have to wait for distributor. We don't have to wait for cinema to give me that time, space, and slot. So this small thing like OTT has this COVID point of time has realized in Patal Lok, Asur, Jamtara, there are many web series which has been boom up. जो शायद कभी theater release हो नहीं सकती थी, possible नहीं था sir. But this OTT platform has given them that space. Many documentaries and many things. Those who are coming nowadays in OTT platform can give a hell lot of things which we can learn nowadays, which we can't go in theater and see that and learn. But this OTT platforms help me a lot for this kind of stuff. So I think this OTT is helping a lot for youth.
Priyanka ji is there. And there is a question here, Priyanka. And yes. I take this question once again to you. That can cinema really change the mindset of the society? Particularly the challenges that we have with respect to caste or gender and other issues. can cinema really make a major impact? And to what extent do you think so?
Sir, you know what I think is, I will talk for myself as an audience. I feel cinema can ring a bell, right? We show something that what we believe in, we can portray that. I don't think we can change people massively, because it takes a lot of time to change the mindset of someone, but we can give them a different perspective on things. We can tell them that this is what we feel. We don't want to change anybody right now, sir. But I feel that I can talk with reference to my family. My father is of a very, my father's a Rajput, and he was a captain in the Merchant Navy. And he has a very fixed way of thinking. When he watches cinema, he very easily says, Kerry, I don't like this film, or, you know, I don't, whatever. But sometimes when he watches films that we make, like I make films that are very different for him. But when he watches the films that we make, he doesn't say that it's bad. It just gives him a different perspective on things. And he says, acha, aisa bhi hota hai. You know, so I feel that we are not here to change things. Yeah, there are some films who do make a very big impact on our lives. But I don't know, it depends on the person eventually.
Right. Very well said. Very well said. You give a different perspective. Now, this young gentleman, Abhishek Singh, has taken this question. I would like to remind Abhishek Singh, no, the film Pink. The Pink film talked about the power of no, saying no. And Mashan talked about the operation connected to caste, the mindset connected to caste. So we do get influenced by such films to an extent, but to expect that a single film or what couple of films will make a complete thousands of years of mindset change completely, doesn't happen. Right. But it contributes to the battle. I'm happy to note that Rajpalji could join finally. Yes, Rajpalji, welcome. Very much welcome. You are in the car. So, can you hear me, Rajpalji? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Great,
wow,
great.
wow.
Very good. So, अच्छा लग रहा है आपको?
Thank God. अरे I am traveling. और ये ही इज माय यंगर ब्रदर टू मी, अचानक ये बोल दिया मैं लखनऊ जा रहा हूँ कि भैया वो इसको ज्वाइन करना है वेबिनार आपके साथ, तो इट वाज ऑन, मतलब आई फेल्ट वेरी प्राउड। तो मैं तब से लगा हुआ था, लेकिन ये कहीं इंटरनेट कहीं कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी।
आपकी शूट भी शायद चल रही थी कल आज सुबह, समथिंग लाइक दैट, भूल भुलैया का। चलो कोई बात नहीं, जो भी आप बिजी थे। बिफोर वी लूज यू, आप थोड़ा बताएं ये पीरियड जो can you hear me? You are frozen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
पिछले 2 साल में, मैं प्रोफेसर उज्जवल बोल रहा हूँ, सब तक एक वक्त मेरा विद्यार्थी था। अच्छा लग रहा है कि सब तक आपके साथ काम किया है। तो आप ये बताएं, पिछले 20 महीने में आप फिल्म की चेहरा में क्या परिवर्तन देखते हैं? कोविड का कुछ इम्पैक्ट दिखता है? आगे के सिनेमा का क्या रूप होगा? क्या ओटीटी हावी पड़ेगा? ये सब पे थोड़ा
देखें, रोक लेना 5 मिनट। मैं ये कह रहा था कि ये तो एक ऐसी स्क्रिप्ट थी सर जो किसी भी लेखक या किसी ज्योतिषी ने नहीं सोची थी कि एक इस तरीके की ऐसी आपदा आएगी जो विश्व को, मतलब जैसे आपकी गाड़ी जा रही हो 120 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटा पे और अचानक ऐसा स्पीड ब्रेकर आ जाए जो मतलब आप और गाड़ी पूरी जो है लड़खड़ा जाए और आप ये भी पता न लगे कि आप कौन सी दिशा में आ रहे थे और कौन सी दिशा को अब जाना है। क्योंकि मैं खुद ही इस बात गवाह हूं कि 2020 में मेरे 7 टूर लगभग थे फॉरेन के, जिसमें 7 फिल्म्स शुरू हुई थी और लगभग सभी ऑलमोस्ट 100 क्लब की फिल्में थी। और अचानक जो है जब मार्च 13 को हमारी भूल भुलैया की शूटिंग बंद हुई, लखनऊ में हम लोग कर रहे थे जिसमें 300-400 लोग थे, और फिर 22 मार्च को जो है वो लॉकडाउन हुआ और वो लॉकडाउन ऐसा बदला कि धीरे धीरे जो है लोग सड़कों पे, और हमारे भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि ये इसका समाधान क्या है। और थैंक्स टू ऑल डॉक्टर्स, एवरीबॉडी, पूरे देश का बच्चा बूढ़ा जो नौजवान जो भी प्रोफेसर साहब आपके हमारे सबके दुआओं से, बोलते हैं ना कि कभी दुआ काम करती है कभी दवा काम करती है, तो इसमें तो खैर, लेकिन इससे जो परिवर्तन हुए हैं आप हमारे इंडस्ट्री में, एक चीज का कि जो इसमें सफर किए वो तो मैं पूरी मेरी सबके लिए संवेदनाएं हैं, जो हम सब लोग बच गए हैं वो वी आर ब्लेस्ड, क्योंकि इसमें कोई बड़ा छोटा, जब बोलते हैं ना कि एक जज साहब की पत्नी को मतलब ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिल रही है, या ऐसे ऐसे लोग देखे जिन्हों उनको बेड नहीं मिल रहा है, और आई डोंट नो कि ये बहुत एक अलग अलग तरीके का मामला था, जिसको जितना याद किया जाए उतना ही अपने अपने मोरल को लूज करना है। बट अब इंडस्ट्री में पिछले 10 साल से बहुत सारा टैलेंट, कॉन्सेप्ट, कंटेंट और न्यू एनर्जी के पास था, लेकिन उसको प्रॉपर क्या है कि एक बहुत बड़ा बिफोर कोरोना एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था कि 5 करोड़ की फिल्म बनाना तो सरल है, 2 करोड़ की फिल्म बनाना सरल है, 10 करोड़ की फिल्म बनाना सरल है, लेकिन हाउ टू रिलीज, बिकॉज वी वर नॉट गेटिंग प्रॉपर थिएटर्स। ओके, लेकिन अब जो है से ओटीटी का जो चलन आया है, बोलते हैं कला जितनी बिखरती है उतनी निखरती है, और ओटी बिकॉज ऑफ ओटीटीज एक ऐसे छोटे छोटे कॉन्सेप्ट, जो लड़के मतलब मेन स्ट्रीम में काम करने का सपना तो देख सकते हैं, लेकिन उनको खड़े होने की भी जगह नहीं थी, उनको सबको एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म न्यू टैलेंट को मिला, जिसके लिए आई थिंक ये मेरे ड्रीम से कम नहीं है। आई एम सो हैप्पी। मैं सब लोगों से ये बोलता हूं कि ओटीटी का अगर उपयोग करोगे तो आप 97% ऑडियंस ले आओगे, जिसमें दादा दादी, नाना नानी, बच्चे, बूढ़े, नौजवान, सबको मनोरंजन मिले समान। जो पिछले 5 साल से जो ओटीटी में जो कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़े से 3% ऐसे लिखे जा रहे थे, जो मुझे थोड़े से, क्योंकि जिस मुंह से हमने ताली ली है डायलॉग बोल के, उस मुंह से गाली बोल के कोई पैसा कमाना, वो मेरा तो ध्येय नहीं था। लेकिन अब जो है, अब स्वस्थ मनोरंजन वाली वेब सीरीज भी बन रही है, वेब फिल्म भी बन रही है। और प्रोफेसर साहब, मैं आपसे एक शेयर चीज करना चाहता हूँ कि वर्ल्ड इज बहुत जल्दी दुख भूलता है। 70 mm का नशा कभी भी कोई नहीं भुला सकता। वो पाथेर पांचाली से लेके वो मतलब 70 mm मुगले आजम हो, शोले हो, हम आपके हैं कौन हो, या मतलब कोई भी बोलते मेगा ढाकेतारा हो, या मतलब आप कहीं कोई भी किसी भी लेवल पे दुनिया का कोई भी ओटीटी 70 mm हाथी है, और ओटीटी हमारा हिरन रूपी एक बहुत अच्छा समुदाय है, हिरन रूपी हम मानते हैं इसको।
I really like the way you tell us 70 mm हाथी है, वो भी रहेगा, और प्यारा सा हिरन भी रहेगा ओटीटी का।
जी।
आप इस 20 महीने में क्या क्या काम कर पाए, मतलब इतने रेस्ट्रिक्शन के अंदर क्या क्या कर पाए, और आगे क्या करने वाले?
अभी पिछले जो 3-4 साल में कुछ कोशिश कर रहा था कि 2 दशक हो गए हैं राजपाल को, लगभग बोलते हैं मालिक से लेके मजदूर तक और माली से लेके दरबार तक, लगभग नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल या नुक्कड़ से लेके लगभग, तो ऐसे किसी में 1 मिनट, किसी में 10 मिनट, किसी में 100 मिनट की अपीयरेंस को लेके 200 फिल्में लगभग पूरी करने का सौभाग्य मिला। तो पिछले 2-3 साल में लगभग 200-300 सब्जेक्ट अलग अलग तरीके के सुनने का सौभाग्य मिला, जिसमें राजपाल यादव फिट हो, क्योंकि कभी चार्ली चैपलिन साहब किसी कैरेक्टर फिट होते थे, कभी किसमें। तो अब जब 200 फिल्मों का और 20 साल से लगातार इंडस्ट्री ने काम करने का सौभाग्य दिया है, तो अब कुछ इच्छा है कि इंस्टीट्यूशनल किया जाए, क्योंकि आई एम पास आउट फ्रॉम नेशनल स्कूल ऑफ ड्रामा, आई एम पास आउट फ्रॉम भारतेंद्र एकेडमी ऑफ ड्रामेटिक आर्ट्स लखनऊ। हालांकि दुनिया के बहुत कम लोगों को पता है कि मैं पढ़ा लिखा भी हूँ। तो लेकिन अब
पढ़े लिखे नहीं, काफी पढ़े लिखे। एनएसडी, नेशनल स्कूल ऑफ ड्रामा से निकलना
नहीं, आप सबका आशीर्वाद है।
राजपाल यादव जी से शाहरुख खान तक हर एक जो अब बड़े कलाकार हैं, बहुत सारे एनएसडी से निकले हुए हैं, मंजे हुए आप लोग हैं, मतलब थिएटर पर्सनालिटी।
थैंक। अब आप जैसे प्रबुद्ध शिक्षक प्रोफेसर्स, आप जैसे टीचर्स, गुरु, सब जब वही सब कारण है। मैं सारा अपना जितना भी पूरे जीवन मैंने सीखा है सब मैं अपने गुरु और गुरुओं के उसमें समर्पित करता हूँ कि माता पिता भी गुरु हैं, और जो भी है जिसने जीवन में कला और शिक्षा और संस्कार और व्यवहार सिखाया है, सब कुछ उन्हीं का है। लेकिन एक चीज बड़ी अच्छी है कि दुनिया को अभी सोचना चाहिए कि सिनेमा तो अगले 10 साल में, आप रीजनल से लेके देखिएगा, 10 साल स्वर्णिम युग है सिनेमा का, अच्छे अच्छे कॉन्सेप्टों का, टैलेंट का। ये तो हमें आई कैन सी द सिनेरियो। और बोलते हैं मनोरंजन के दंगल में जितना अच्छा कंटेंट, जितनी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस है, जितनी अच्छी चुनौतियां होती हैं, तो एक अच्छे पहलवान को या अच्छे मनोरंजनकार को अच्छा लगता है कि फील्ड में, अखाड़े में एक से एक बड़ी प्रतिभाएं हैं उनके साथ में। हमें तो हमेशा ये लगता है कि इतने मजे हुए खिलाड़ी खेलें कि लोग बोले क्या बात है। तो अब लेकिन एक चीज यहाँ पे कि सिनेमा के साथ में लोगों से कि अब दौड़ो कर्म के पीछे, लेकिन पिछले 20 साल में अपन लोगों ने बहुत कुछ सीखा है, लेकिन जिस चीज के लिए अपन दौड़ रहे हैं वो कहीं न कहीं मिथ्या है, अब साबित हो रही है। अब समय है कि अपन अपने अंदर के बहुत सारी चीजों को डेवलप कर सकते हैं, जिसमें उम्र से लेके, तन से लेके, मन से लेके धन तक, कहीं भी अब समझ में आ गया है कि वक्त जब पड़ता है ना, वक्त सबसे बड़ा गुरु है सर। जब समय का डंडा चलता है, तो चाहे राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप हो और चाहे वो एक सड़क पे चलता हुआ हमारा भाई मजदूर हो, क्योंकि वी आर ऑल मास्टर्स। ये 135 करोड़ लोगों में मेरा पहले दिन से मानना है कि इसमें 2 ही क्लास में रखता हूं, एक स्पेशल क्लास, एक मास्टर क्लास। क्योंकि कोई प्लम्बर है, कोई कपड़ा सिलता है, कोई गाड़ी चलाता है, कोई बुनाई करता है, कोई सफाई करता है, कोई धुनाई करता है, कोई खाना बनाता है। कितने हमारे सिस्टम में 120 करोड़ हम वी आर लिविंग मास्टर। कोई पढ़ाई करवाता है, और सब लोगों ने जो है अपनी जिम्मेदारियां संभाल के रखी हैं, सबके पास एक ही हार्ट है। तो स्पेशल क्लास में 2-4 करोड़ ऐसे लोग हैं जो 100, 200, 500, 1000 लोगों को जीने का जरिया देते हैं, वो भी बहुत जरूरी है। लेकिन जो जरिया पैदा करते हैं कि वी आर नॉट सोर्सेज, वी आर स्रोत, और जो हम स्रोत में बिलीव करते हैं। तो इसलिए सिनेमा, मैं बोलते कला का पुत्र हूं सर, और प्रकृति मेरी नानी है। मैं चाहता हूं कि माँ से पंगा ले सकते हो, लेकिन नानी से पंगा लिया तो बर्बाद हो जाओगे। इसका मेरे लुब्बू लुबाब कहने का मतलब ये है कि वक्त रहते हम सबको सुधर जाके, और जलवायु, अग्नि, धरती, आकाश, पाताल की रिस्पेक्ट करके, जल, जंगल, जमीन, पर्यावरण, पर्यटन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हम लोगों को अपना जीवन अब देखना चाहिए, जिसमें सेम लिविंग और अच्छा व्यवहार, अच्छे संस्कार का। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू राजपाल जी। आपके 2021 में 50वां वर्ष आपकी जिंदगी का, मेरे हिसाब से केवल आधी जिंदगी हुई है। अगला 50 साल में आप बहुत कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर जाएंगे इस समाज को, इस देश को। बहुत अच्छी तरह से आपने बताया। स्वर्णिम युग, मनोरंजन का स्वर्णिम युग आ रहा है, जिसमें कई तरह के टैलेंट, कई तरह के फॉर्मेट्स में मनोरंजन लोगों के पास पहुंचेगा। यही आज का मैसेज है। The golden age of entertainment is ahead. It's not about just feature film in every form of entertainment. Golden age is ahead. This is the big message from Rajpal Yadav to the SIFI film festival that's happening. आपने मेरी बात की, आपने मेरे विद्यार्थी सप्तक के साथ काम करना एग्री किया। मैं बहुत धन्यवाद आपको। एक और प्रोफेसर से आपको जाते जाते 3 मिनट मिलाता हूं, जिस प्रोफेसर के माध्यम से आज दर्जनों बच्चे निकल रहे हैं, दर्जनों बच्चे तैयार हो रहे हैं। उन्होंने स्टूडियो 62 लॉन्च किया बच्चों के बलबूते पर, स्टूडेंट्स के बलबूते पर। आज वो स्टूडेंट्स ये सारा फेस्टिवल वही ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं, छोटी छोटी फिल्में बना रहे हैं। डॉक्टर अम्बरीश सक्सेना, the Dean of DME Media School. Over to you, sir, for the last few words. We are over time, doesn't matter. It was a fabulous session.
Yeah, thank you, उज्जवल जी, thank you राजपाल जी। हम लोग काफी देर से बहुत ही ईगर थे आपको सुनने के लिए। 1.5-2 घंटे से सारे लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे कि कब आप आएंगे, कब सुनने को मिलेगा आपको। और अब भारतीय नाट्य एकेडमी के पढ़े हुए हैं मेरे बहुत, मैं थिएटर में रहा हूँ और मेरे बहुत सारे जो साथ के लोग थे वो भारतीय नाट्य एकेडमी के पढ़े हुए हैं और मेरा भी थिएटर से बहुत, फिल्मों से नाता है। और ये फेस्टिवल हमने इसीलिए शुरू किया जिससे कि जो यंग फिल्म मेकर्स हैं, जो बडिंग फिल्म मेकर्स हैं, उनको एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया जा सके और जो लोग भी फिल्में बना रहे हैं उनको एक सामने लाने का मौका मिले। और इसके अलावा जो फिल्म से जुड़े हुए विषय हैं जिन पे हम बात कर सकें और आप जैसे लोग हमारे बीच में आ सके, जिनसे जो नई जनरेशन है, जो नई पीढ़ी है, उनको थोड़ा सा प्रोत्साहन मिले फिल्म मेकिंग को लेके। और जैसा आपने कहा कि स्वर्णिम युग है, तो इस स्वर्णिम युग में प्रतिभाओं की भी जरूरत है, तो नई प्रतिभाओं को आने का एक रास्ता मिले और उनको एक सही ढंग से गाइडेंस मिले। क्योंकि जो, जैसा कि आपने कहा कि जो एक चर्निंग का टाइम होता है, कोरोना ने जो भी नेगेटिव चीजें की वो की, लेकिन जो चर्निंग का प्रोसेस है कि पुरानी चीजें कुछ हट रही हैं, कुछ नई चीजें आ रही है, तो चर्निंग के प्रोसेस में समुद्र मंथन की तरह है, कुछ नई चीजें निकलेंगी तो विष निकला तो अमृत भी निकलेगा, और उस अमृत के साथ कला के क्षेत्र में कुछ अच्छा और नया काम होगा। और आप हम लोगों के बीच आए, सभी लोगों का सौभाग्य है जो इस सत्र में है कि आपको देखने का और आपको सुनने का मौका मिला। धन्यवाद।
मैं सक्सेना साहब बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, प्रोफेसर साहब का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, जो भी हमें सुन पा रहे हैं उनका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं आपसे एक बात शेयर करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म आपने शुरू किया है और इसमें राज्यपाल की जहां भी आपको जरूरत पड़े, आज ही नहीं, क्योंकि वी आर सेम बिरादरी, हम लोग, हम बोलते ना कि अगर बोलते हैं कि कर्म भूमि एक माँ ने जन्म दिया होता है और एक माँ ने कर्म दिया होता है, तो माँ और सिनेमा, लेकिन इन दोनों माँ के बीच में एक बहुत अच्छा स्थान होता है जिसका नाम होता है दाई माँ। थिएटर मेरी दाई माँ है, जिसने मुझ पे जायफल लगा के मुझे पाल पोस के बड़ा किया है। आपको जहां भी मेरी जरूरत पड़े मैं तैयार हूं। बस मैं आपसे एक लास्ट, अपने आने वाले बच्चों, जैसे आपने मंथन की बात की और गाइडेंस की बात की, बहुत ही सेंसिटिव समय है लेकिन बहुत कमाल का समय है। आपने मंथन करके, आप पेड़ बनने जाओगे तो टूट जाओगे, बिखर जाओगे, लेकिन बीज बन के जाओगे तो जहां भी जमा दिए जाओगे वहीं पे खड़े हो जाओगे, वहीं पे दरख्त हो जाओगे। तो प्लीज बिकेम ऑफ योर सेल्फ, आप ट्रीट ऑफ योर सेल्फ एज सीड। पेड़ नहीं, पेड़ की कल्पना तो ऊपर वाला जानता है, लेकिन सीड आप बन गए। बच्चों से बस यही बोलिएगा कि सीड बनो, सीड बनो, सीड बनो।
बहुत अच्छी बात है, बहुत ही सुंदर बात है, इससे अच्छा मैसेज नहीं हो सकता है। मैंने आपका कपिल शर्मा शो में भी जो आपने बात की जिस तरह से, वो भी मैं कायल हो गया हूँ।
अरे थैंक यू, मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ आपको, बहुत अच्छा लगा। और मुझे सच में, मैं थैंक यू सप्तक की प्रोफेसर साहब, आपसे आपके दर्शन करने का मौका मिला, सक्सेना जी से बात करने का मौका मिला। थैंक यू सो मच, स्वस्थ रहिए सर।
थैंक यू। एंड चूंकि समय हो चुका, मैं और न बढ़ाते हुए सबको धन्यवाद दूंगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद संजय जी, आपने मार्केटिंग पर्सपेक्टिव से इंडस्ट्री का जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स और जो सिनेरियो बन रहे हैं, और आगे आप 20 फिल्में ला रहे हैं अगले साल, इस बारे में डिटेल में बात की। प्रियंका जी, लॉट ऑफ थैंक्स टू यू, from a beginner filmmaker, how to rise. You have given some very important tips that youngsters can utilize. Thank you very much for that. Aftab is not with us, but it's a fabulous story of Aftab. मुरादाबाद में जब वो था तब मैं उसको पहचानता था, और वो केवल 15 साल पहले, और आज वो न्यूयॉर्क में कोड नेम अब्दुल नाम का फिल्म हॉलीवुड में लॉन्च किया है। इसके पहले और बहुत सारी फिल्मों में टेक्नीशियन और कई सारे रिस्पेक्ट में काम किए हैं। थैंक्स सप्तक, आपने राजपाल जी को लाया, उनके साथ एक फिल्म लॉन्च की और दूसरी फिल्म बनाने वाले हैं, और आरजे वॉइस में ना खो जाकर वहां से, रांची से शुरू करके आप मुंबई तक आए, फिल्म सफल किए। ये लॉट ऑफ थैंक्स फॉर दैट। Amrish ji, very many thanks for organizing this entire thing. This entire thing that you have brought in is so much of talent. Youngsters, I can see a youngster sitting in the studio, and every session has so many youngsters coming up and presenting. It's indeed so nice to hear ठेठ हिंदी में जीवन दर्शन, माँ से सिनेमा तक दायमा होते हुए जो बात कहा, और स्वर्णिम युग जो एंटरटेनमेंट या विनोदन का स्वर्णिम युग आ रहा है, और किस तरह से हर व्यक्ति को बीज पहले बनना है। पेड़ बनाना ऊपर वाले के हाथ में हो सकता है, बीज बनना हमारे हाथ में है। ये बड़ी सुंदर बात उन्होंने रखी। इन सारी बातों को दोबारा याद करते हुए thank you everyone for everyone who's present even till this moment online here in Zoom live, and those who are present in Facebook and YouTube. I hope this video can be shared also later on with more youngsters who have missed. Particularly, we can make independent short clips of all the speakers and share that as we go ahead. Thank you. With that, we bring this session to an end. Namaste. Sabba khair.
Ujjwal ji, abhi this will be over to Divyashree, who is sitting in the studio.
Yes. Over to Divyashree.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed an interesting discussion. Here I request Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DME Media School, to give the concluding remarks.
Thank you, Divyashree. Thank you, Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, for bringing such a nice panel and leading a discussion on the new phase of cinema during and after the pandemic. Mr. Sanjay Narayan talked about various formats of cinema which are coming up now in the face of COVID. Mr. Avtar talked about new avenues in making film because of user-friendly, affordable, and handy technology. However, he also raised the issue of bombardment of content. Prinka Tanwar, as an enterprising filmmaker, told us about her experience of making and doing the post-production of her feature film. According to her, it was a big challenge for her, and release it in normal time would have been definitely better. Thanks to all panelists and जो इन्होंने अभी बोला, राजपाल जी ने OTT का उपयोग करोगे तो बहुत कुछ लोगों तक पहुंचोगे, लेकिन 70 mm का नशा कोई नहीं भुला सकता, क्योंकि OTT हिरन की तरह है और 70 mm हाथी है। उन्होंने जिस तरह की बात की बहुत अपीलिंग था। सिनेमा का स्वर्णिम युग है, लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा सीखने की जरूरत है। मनोरंजन के दंगल में एक से एक बड़ी प्रतिभाएं हैं, तो हमें बीज की तरह बड़ा होना है, बीज की तरह बनना है। पेड़ झुक सकता है, टूट सकता है, बीज धीरे धीरे ग्रो करेगा और आपको अपने आप पेड़ बना देगा। सो थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी, थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू, थैंक्स फॉर दिस सेशन for Ujjwal K. Chaudhary. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Firstly, I would like to thank our panel chairs and panelists, Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary, Mr. Rajpal Yadav, Mr. Saptak Niyogi, Mr. Sanjay Narayanan Pishardi, Ms. Priyanka Tanwar, Mr. Aftab Asgar, and Dr. Ambrish Saxena for this very interesting and insightful panel discussion. Thank you so much. I would like to extend my immense gratitude to the management of DME. Without the support of Mr. Aman Sani, Vice Chairman DME, Honorable Justice Bhavar Singh, Director General DME, and Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director DME, it would not have been able to come to this far. I also thank them for giving us this wonderful opportunity and the resources to execute the same. I'm thankful to Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Dean DME Media School, Festival Director of SIFI, Dr. Vikrant Kishore, Festival Director, and Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DME Media School and Festival Associate Director, for their constant guidance and encouragement at every step. I thank our festival partners and the student body of DME Media School, SPARK, that is students with positive attitude and resonating communication. I want to thank our jury members, Mr. Nimish Kapoor, Mr. Murtaza Ali, Ms. Supriya Suri, Mr. Pankaj Rakesh, for patiently and fairly watching all the movies and for giving their precious time and feedback. A special note of thanks to Ms. Manmeet Kaur, Ms. Shruti VS, Ms. Mudita Raj, Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, and Mr. Pramod Kumar Pandey and Ms. Sukriti Arora for the efforts, constant support and cooperation. Dr. Krishna Pandey and Mr. Pramod Pandey and Mr. Mohammad Kamal for media coverage. Mr. Sachin Naya, Mr. Sumantra Das, Mr. Yogesh Sharma, and Mr. Vishal Sahai for digital and production support. Mr. Anmol Mehta for designing, and Mr. Abhishek Yadav for IT support. I would also like to thank the student team of SIFI, the screening team, the documentation team, the social media team, and the technical team who have been working for the past 3 months to make this festival happen. I must thank all our participants who submitted their creative pieces. Thank you, our attendees, to join the session. This was the end of session 2, day 4. The next session for the day is a curated session on sound design in film, aesthetics and technology, conceptualized, curated and moderated by Dr. Gauridi Chakraborty from 2:30 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day ahead. With this, I, MS Devashri, take your leave for now. Stay tuned for the next upcoming sessions.